Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to be unboxing the new Ninja Foodi Dual Zone Air Fryer with Mega Zone. So you ready? Let's get into this. This is the Ninja Foodi Dual Zone Air Fryer. You can see that it air fries with up to 75% less fat, which is pretty typical for an air fryer, unless you're buying store-bought French fries or something like that, which are already pre-cooked with oil in them already. Same goes for a lot of chicken wings, by the way. The thing about this is it has dual zones, meaning you have two different sections in here that can be configured differently. And that's one of the reasons I picked this up, because that makes it a much more compelling device. You can see right here where they talk about that just a little bit, where we got air frying on one side and roasting on the other. The center divider of the basket can be removed, and then you end up with one large section, which would be the 11-quart Mega Zone. And I don't know about you, but lately, anytime I see a word that starts with mega, it kind of makes me think about something else.
A mega pint.
Moving right along, you have two 5.5-quart baskets, and surprise, when those are combined in the one container, you get your 11-quart Mega Zone. One of the great things about that is down here you can see they're roasting a whole 6-pound chicken, and that fits in that thing with a divider out of it, so that's kind of neat. There's a quick picture of the machine. There's the basket, there's the divider. You got a couple of crisper plates here. It's got two different heating fans in here because you can independently control each side. And in case you didn't know, that's your main unit. See? Here's some of the things you can do with your dual zone. Right here you can see you can customize your zones differently, so you can cook your vegetables and your proteins at the same time, and they'll get done at the same time. Right here you can fry both sides without having to combine them into one basket, which is really the same thing as this, so maybe they just want to have a third picture there. Who knows? And here's another mention of the Mega Zone. Alright, let's pop this sucker open. Alright, let's see what we got. Okay, what have we got here? Looks like we got our quick start guide, and this gives you a rundown of all the functions on the machine. There's charts on here on what to use what function for and how much time. And also in the back there are some recipes, which Ninja always puts in all their booklets. Sadly though, no pictures on any of the stuff here in the recipe guide area. So hopefully that's not a trend for Ninja. I really do like their recipe books, but I've noticed that they've gotten smaller and smaller over the years here. That may partially be because a lot of their recipes are online on the website, but I still like having a paper book like this because I'm kind of old school that way. Anyway, we'll be taking a look at that later. Right here is the user guide. So this has much more detailed information about the functions, safety precautions, warranty information, so on and so forth. You want to keep this in a drawer someplace, especially if you need to call Ninja for anything, or you can just go onto their website and all that information is probably there as well. Okay, here we got the power cord poking through. We'll move that out of the way and pull this off here. And we'll pull this thing out of here. And really, this is pretty freaking big. Wow, that's pretty interesting looking. Not sure if I like the design of this, because it kind of looks a little janky, this handle. Just the way this flares off the edge like that. Kind of strange, you know. I don't hate it, but I was a little surprised by it. Looks like we got a couple of stickers on the outside here that give you a kind of a quick reference of time and temperature for different types of stuff. And on the other side here, same deal, except when you're using the Mega Zone. Looking around the back of this, really nothing much to see. You got a couple of vents back here. Got a couple of nubs back here, and what I'm going to make the assumption about on these is that they're here to make sure that this doesn't get pushed up against the wall, because that's ventilation and we don't want those blocked off. Power cord's pretty standard length, about 3 feet. And as far as dimensions of the machine go, we're talking 13 inches tall. If you take these weirdly big handles into account, You're talking about 19¼ inches wide, and depth would be about 11 inches with those handles. So this would take up quite a bit of counter space. Hey, by the way, if this is your first time here and you want to learn some cool new recipes, get some great cooking tips and tricks and all sorts of other kitchen related things, then start now by subscribing to the channel and clicking the notification bell so you never miss a thing. Let's check out the inside of this. So we pull that open, and this opens the entire tray. So I wasn't quite expecting it to be this way because there isn't two separate trays. It's one big tray with a separator down the middle. So if you were cooking different things on different sides, you wouldn't be able to pull one side open and check on something without stopping cooking on the other side at the same time. Whether or not that's a big deal, I don't know. But for me, I'm a little bit surprised because the earlier versions of this machine, that was actually split down the middle and these were independent. In fact, you can kind of see this line right here, which sort of makes me believe that this was taken from a similar mold or something like that, or it could just be decoration, who knows. That's a little bit interesting that the packing material is also wrapped in plastic. That's weird, whatever. Alright, if we look down on our machine, we have our divider and we have our two crisper plates down here in the bottom as well. These are removable and they have little rubber feet on them that kind of keep them in place. So if I want to take that out, you just kind of pull it out. It's kept in there with friction. You can see these little rubber feet right here. Kind of interesting. Okay, same with the other side here. This has got a non-stick coating on it, nice and smooth. Pretty standard fare actually. And then right here is that center divider. So if we were to slide that out, then we have that mega zone thing that they were talking about. And that's big, it really is. The compartment, if we don't have those crisper plates in there, is 15 by 8.5. And that's about 5.5 inches deep. The divider here in the middle does have a Teflon coating on it, and it's non-stick on both sides as well. That's pretty easy to slide in here and not have it in the middle though. The track it goes on isn't all that apparent, and this rubber will let it kind of slide, so gotta be careful with that. Okay, as far as buttons go on this thing, if we turn this on, we have all your different functions in here. You got Mega Zone, Zone 1, Zone 2. So I can actually select a zone and then I can pick what I want to do with that zone. For instance, if I want air fry, I would just put this on air fry for Zone 1, select temperatures and time, and then we go ahead and start that up. Now if I want to go to Zone 2, I can click this over here, set that maybe to roast, and let's say we want that at, I don't know, 450. 400 is the maximum, so we'll leave that at 400, and 22 minutes, maybe something like that, and we would start that up. So now you can see I got separate timers for Zone 1 and Zone 2, and different functions going on for both of those zones. If you were going to use the Mega Zone, meaning if you were going to cook something big in here that was going to take up the entire container, then you would use this Mega Zone button in the middle, and then it's got all the same function as you'd have with either side, except this time it would control the entire machine. Over here you have a Smart Finish function, and what would happen there is if you were to set your two zones for different things, this would make sure that they get done at the same time. So that's pretty cool actually. If I wanted to cook in both zones with similar things but I still wanted to keep them separate, I can just select Zone 1, set it to maybe air fry or whatever, and then if I were to hit Match Cook, it would copy all those settings over to Zone 2, and when I start up, it would do that same function with the same time and the same temperature on both sides. So that's just set up to be a way to save a little bit of time. The preset functions on this machine are air fry, roast, bake, proof, reheat, dehydrate, and keeps warm. For the most part, if you get a machine like this, you're probably going to be air frying, but it is nice that it can bake and roast too. Since it has a proof function, I'm going to assume that this machine will cook pretty decent bread also. We're going to do a quick test here and see exactly how loud the air fryer tends to get, because if it's anything like any of the older Ninja machines, it's pretty sneaking loud, so let's take a look and see. first, we're just gonna air fry in zone 1 and see how loud this gets. It's like about 71 decibels, but that's not bad at all because the Ninja pressure cookers are up in the high 80s. Just out of curiosity, let's see how much louder this is if I do the air fry with a mega zone, which would be both fans going at the same time. Well, it's definitely louder, but you know what? Not that much louder. About 74, 75 decibel. It's popping up into the 80s, but that's only when I'm talking. So you know, that's pretty doable actually. Over the next few weeks, we're going to be testing all the features of the Ninja Foodi Dual Zone Air Fryer. Once we have enough information, we'll be back with a full product review, so stay tuned. If you'd like a little bit more information about it, we do have an Amazon affiliate link to it down in the description of the video. If you buy anything through those links, we do make a small commission, but it doesn't change the price that you pay 1 cent. If you like this video, you might like this video right here where we unbox the Ninja Foodi Smart XL Grill. These two devices do have a few features in common and might be kind of neat to check it out. Well, that's it for now. I hope to see you back again here really soon, and until that time, I'm Joe and I hope you have a phenomenal day. Take it easy.